What's up? I'm Aaron Trimble with Darklight Audio, and we're going to be making the pipe warp sound. It sounds like this. Yes, that iconic sound. Last time we made the coin sound like this. Like this. Yep. And before we start talking about the pipe warp sound, I wanted to clear up some things about the coin video. First off, I said the NES can make a saw sound, and it can't. It makes a triangle. It makes two pulse waves, a triangle, a noise generator, and it has a wave sample, and it can do any one of those monophonically. It can have all five of those voices, but those individual voices only have one voice. Okay. The second thing is I found the actual sheet music from Nintendo right here for the coin sound. So there you go, 180 beats per minute. There are the actual notes. This is for their trademark submission. I don't know if they actually got a trademark for their coin sound, but there it is. I messed up my friend Stephen Malin's name. It's not Merlin. He's not a wizard, except on the keys. It's Stephen Malin. Go check out his channel. He's got some really cool music and information about 16-bit game music, game audio. I think that's it. So let's get started. So here's what you're going to need. Just like last time, you need a single oscillator with a square waveform. It's going to be monophonic with a fast attack and fast release. Any synthesizer should work, but I will say I tried several synthesizers and Massive came the closest. I wanted to use another one just to show you that you could use different synthesizers, and you can, but some are going to be closer than others. This one is still just a little bit off timbrally, but it's really close. And I'll show you that later. Okay, then we need the correct notes. Now let me kind of talk you through the process of how I figured this out, so you can also learn how to figure out sounds that you hear, in case there's no tutorial on it, in case I haven't put one out. So the first thing I did was I just listened. So let's listen to the original sound. It's good to have a reference. Okay, it's like a group of three something. It's going ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. So it might seem like we need a square with a glide from a high note to a low note. So I tried that, and it didn't work. So the next thing I did was I wanted to see if somebody had come close, or maybe even explained it in some way. Maybe they knew the notes, because that's what I needed was the notes. And then I've already showed you how to do the sound, but maybe some clever person figured out the notes. So I went online, and this gentleman actually did a transcription of several of the sound effects from the video game. His name's Mark. Go check out his video, Mark DeSimone. Anyway, as you watch on this third line, this is the pipe warp sound that he notated. I thought, awesome, I'll just put in those notes and we'll have it. So I put in the notes, and I was excited at first. Here are the notes that I put in. That's right, that blank screen. Okay, here are the notes that I put in. And let's see what they sound like. That doesn't quite sound right. It sounds like the right speed, but between the sections, but I don't remember the other one going ba-da, 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 like that. Let's hear the original again. Yeah, definitely different. Okay, so then I went back to the original sound, and I zoomed way in here and listened to see if there was more than one note playing at a time, and I suspected there wouldn't be. Okay, that's one note. That's a different note. That's another note, and they're going down in fifths. And it turns out these first three notes are just like what this gentleman notated. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, but the next note is different. Okay, so I went to each one of these, divided them so I could keep track, And you can see what I wrote the notes up here: E, A, D, G, C, E, A, and so on. And the notation ended up looking kind of like this. This is a mess. But instead of basically at 500 BPM, instead of 16th notes, we have 32nd notes. They descend in fifths, and we started a high E, the third E above middle C, and we're gonna play 1, 2, 3, 4 fifths down from that note, and then we're gonna go back up to it and play 6 fifths down. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and end on this B flat. And it turns out when you play them really quickly, and it's got about a quarter note's worth in between. Let me show you what the notes look like programmed. I really highly recommend just downloading from somewhere the original track so you can kind of see the space in between each one. By the way, this is the original, and this is what mine ended up looking like. You can see they ended up looking really similar. Anyway, here is what it looked like programmed. And you see I have it all gridded out, and I compared that to where the others were in the original, and I ended up scooting them a little over, so some of the notes are actually a little shorter, some of them are a little longer, so this transcription is not perfect. The one that I got rid of. There it is. This is not perfect. They are not perfect 30-second notes in 500 beats per minute. Okay, that's an approximation, but these are the correct notes. So let's see. Let's hear one more time what it ended up sounding like. That's the original. And there's mine. Pretty close. Now we can see, I'll take note of one more thing, the timbral difference. You can see that this one kind of glides down a little bit. This is massive, by the way. Okay. And then we look at the original. It's just flat. And you can even see the curves from the combined sine waves and the harmonics that make up, the odd harmonics that make up the square. So let's listen to how some of the others turned out. So here is FM8. That's another Native Instruments plugin. Let's see how this one fared. Those are the same notes. See how different they sound? Okay. I also pulled up Omnisphere. That's a very sophisticated synthesizer. Okay, I think I started with this one. Look at how close it looks to the other one. Very flat square shape. Huh, that's a cool sound, but that's not it. Let's try another square. Interesting. Also interesting. They're all interesting, but not as close as Massive is. So you'll get close with other synthesizers, and I suspect that analog synthesizers will be closer than digital synthesizers, but I think most of us have digital ones, so just go with the one that's closest. You might have to experiment with some different ones to get a closer sound. Do not worry if you didn't get it on the first one. I recommend for this sound, I recommend trying multiple synthesizers to get the closest timbre. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a lot of fun trying to figure this one out. I'm going to do a couple more Mario sound effects, and then we're going to switch over to a different NES video game. I might even jump over to some other consoles eventually. Please share, like, and subscribe, and leave something in the comments if you have a question or a comment about how I can explain these things better, or something that you noted that would help people understand this better. I'm going to be releasing these every 2 weeks. So I'll see you in about 2 weeks. In the meantime, you can check out some of my other videos right here. They're both pretty good. I think you'll like them. Anyway, see you later.